Okay, good morning on day 14, 2 weeks. Wow, it's kind of amazing. I'm headed out with a new friend from Australia. He's over there. And I have a short day, just walking into Burgos, and Stephen is there. So we'll spend the day touring around. Just about 15 kilometers, I think. Not sure how long it will be by the time I get to where he's at in the city. Apparently it's a really big city. Just finished breakfast. It was kind of more like dessert than breakfast, just a lot of pastries, no protein. And when I used the coffee machine, I had to pay €1 and I got hot water. I pressed the wrong button. That's what happens when you can't read Spanish. And I didn't have any more euros, so maybe I'll get coffee on the road. Buen camino. I can tell we're getting near the city. I'm sorry? So I just have made it into Burgos, but I'm a long ways from the city center, at least 5K. And I have to walk through this industrial kind of area. It's really foggy this morning. I was walking with Martin from Australia, but at least I think his name is Martin. Anyway, I ended up leaving my poles in a bathroom in a gas station and I had to go back. But thankfully I went back because I found Klaus and Nelfie from Montana. Walked with them for a bit. But my pace is a bit faster, so I'm just pulling away. And I'm anxious to get into town and sit down and have a coffee. So being in the city kind of sucks. There's so much traffic, so many noises. It's not pretty. I think it will be pretty once I get downtown, but right now it's just, traffic central. So my entire journey today has been on pavement. I had to walk along the road from the little town where I stayed. And this has been all sidewalk. And my feet are killing me. I'm trying to go slow and gentle, but it's amazing the difference that it makes not being on the natural, dirt, rocks. Somehow, I just didn't see this as part of my Camino experience. Check out the Camino sign on the side of the building. I think I'm on the right path. It's interesting seeing these old buildings mixed with the new, or newer anyway. I'm sitting on this bench on the street because my feet are so sore from walking on the pavement for so long. I've gone about 12 kilometers. I have about 3 left to get into the center of town. It's amazing the different feel of being in the city, the hustle bustle, the busyness. It's certainly not like home, but it reminds me of my life at home, of just being busy and how simple my life has been for the last 2 weeks. I mean, all I do is walk, rest, do laundry, and eat, and pack and repack. But that's it. That's all I have to do. And man, we put a lot of stuff in our lives on a day-to-day basis. I've heard so many people on the Camino talk to me about how they didn't have time in their life before this to come here, and how busy they've been, and how busy they are at home. And I think busy is an addiction. Anyway, I'm going to sit here as long as I need to, and then I got to get up and finish walking. don't have anywhere to put flowers, but I wanted to enjoy them anyway. Finally, some sunshine. And there it is, the main cathedral. I think there's like 21 cathedrals in Burgos, but this is the mother of them all. I like that there are angels on this one section here. It's amazing to me how many churches all across Europe, and Italy included when I toured Italy a few years ago, don't depict angels. I mean, they're churches, for crying out loud. But it's funny how so many people don't really believe in angels. I mean, they think they're there, but they don't invoke them or speak to them or really acknowledge their presence. And they're so significant and so real. Okay, I just came up all these stairs only to be told that I can't go inside with my backpack. So I went down and left it with a friend who's not coming in so that now I can get in, but I had to do the stairs twice. The hostel because Stephen left his bag here when he went shopping and he's coming back to get it. And this is the line of pilgrims waiting to get in. We're not staying here, although Stephen did last night because you can't stay 2 nights in a row. And we got a hotel with twin beds instead, so I get a nice room again tonight. Lying on my bed. It's siesta time, so everything's kind of closed. And trying to figure out what to do tomorrow. If we go, I'm back with Stephen, and if we go about 21 kilometers, there's very little beds, and apparently it's a real problem, this stretch of the Camino. It's trying to find a place to stay. So we're trying to decide to go less or more. We are going to be entering the Meseta, which is, I don't really know, it's just like all flat fields, and you can see a really long ways, and apparently it takes about 10 days to get through this phase. And a lot of people will skip it, you know, take a bus. But I think it's kind of a necessary part of the Camino. It's extremely boring, very mental, because you can get into your head a lot. So we'll see what that's like. My ankle is still sore. I bought a brace, so I'm going to try it out. And I just need to be intentional like before. And I'll do some resting today to prepare for the long journey across the plains. You know, something else I wanted to mention is the interesting response that I had as I went through the cathedral here in Burgos. Beautiful, fascinating building, but I'm having a real issue, and I have before, but even more so now, with the churches, the ancient churches, and the history and how they were built and the way that they had control over people and caused people to pay money for their acceptance into heaven and forgiveness and so on. Every bone in my body retaliates against it. I am so much for a simple one-on-one relationship with the divine. And I find I found today when I was going through the cathedral, almost a bit of disgust as I looked at the grandeur and it's fascinating, but also kind of maddening when you study the history of how much the church kind of extorted people for money to build these beautiful creations. It kind of takes away the glory of them, for me anyway. I'd rather, sit in a forest and talk to God by myself. It's just how I feel. I'm sitting here next to Stephen. He's on the phone with a friend, and we're looking for a shoe store. And we're in a really pretty area of town. So nice to have my buddy back, and we'll see if we can find him some new shoes, or at least some insoles or something that will help. I'm trying out my new ankle brace, and I don't know if it's helping or not, but give it a shot.